When Donald Trump in Tuesday night's debate said that Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio were eating people's pets, you might have thought it sort of came out of nowhere. But I can now reveal, I think, where it actually came from. And the story is a fascinating window, I think, into who Donald Trump listens to and who he hangs around with. Okay. You may not know the name Laura Loomer, but I'm going to update you and educate you on it. So Laura Loomer is a 31-year-old political activist, for lack of a better word. She has been very pro-Trump from the start. She's also been incredibly controversial. So let me just do the debate first and the eating pets line, and then let's go bigger on Laura Loomer. On September 9th, Laura Loomer, who has a big following on X, a platform she was once banned from but then reinstated when Elon Musk bought the company, started posting that there were, quote, Haitians eating people's pets. Now, she's continued to push that, even though it's been widely debunked, including by the city's town manager, who says it's not happening. There's no pets being eaten. Okay. How did Laura Loomer's ideas and other right-wing sort of media ideas get to Donald Trump, so much so that he felt like he should say it in a national debate that 67 million people watched? Well, if you look at the footage of Donald Trump getting off the plane on Tuesday when he lands in Philadelphia for the debate, you will notice a woman walking off, one of Donald Trump's entourage, Laura Loomer. Loomer has also been around Trump quite a bit lately. So on Wednesday was the 23rd anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attack. Loomer was in both New York at the Ground Zero site where a ceremony was held and in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. She flew with Trump to New York and Pennsylvania and documented it throughout the day, which is kind of interesting because Laura Loomer has shared posts that suggest 9/11 was an inside job. So it's kind of odd that the former president of the United States, who wants to be the next president of the United States, has a 9/11 conspiracy theorist on a trip with him to commemorate the 23rd anniversary of 9/11. So, like I said, let's go a little broader on Laura Loomer. So in addition to the eating pets falsehood, in addition to the 9/11 conspiracy, here's some of the other things she said. I'm just going to run through them. She said that school shootings are allowed in order to help Democrats win elections. She said that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's relationship is made up to, quote, influence the 2024 election. She has repeatedly called herself a proud Islamophobe. She's run for Congress twice in Florida. The first time she won the primary, and at her primary victory celebration, there were a bunch of white nationalist leaders who attended, including the founder of the far-right extremist organization, the Proud Boys. When she ran in 2022, she ran against a sitting Republican incumbent and almost won. She got 44% of the vote. But she lost, but refused to concede and, stop me if you've heard this before, said that there was election fraud. Now, she never really documented what that fraud was. Here is how out there Laura Loomer is, okay? Laura Loomer on September 8th, so this is 2 days before the debate, 2 days before she was on a plane with the President of the United States, former President of the United States, going to the debate, 3 days before she was on a plane with the former President of the United States in New York and Pennsylvania honoring the victims of 9/11, she tweeted this: if Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer service satisfaction survey at the end of the call that nobody will understand. Okay, obviously racist and deeply bigoted. It was so bad that Marjorie Taylor Greene, yes, that Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, who is not exactly a woke liberal, responded to Loomer's tweet with this: this is appalling and extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA. This does not represent President Trump. This type of behavior should not be tolerated ever. Laura Loomer should take this down. That's Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that. That's where Laura Loomer is. In the past, people like Laura Loomer have always existed in politics. Let me say that. But in the past, they were in the fever swamps. They were not people who ever got any attention and certainly didn't get access to the President of the United States or someone running to be the President of the United States. And yet, this is someone who of late has been spotted with Donald Trump at key moments, the debate, the 9/11 commemoration ceremonies, flying around with him, someone with views that Marjorie Taylor Greene says are too extreme. How much stock should we put in this? Look, I do think there is truth to the cliche that you should judge people by who they surround themselves with. I know for a fact some of Donald Trump's more strategic and smart advisors have said, do not be anywhere near Laura Loomer. She is trouble. This is no good. You associating with this person means you own, at least in part, her views. And her views are noxious, racist, and deeply out of step with the broad swath of the American public. And yet, Donald Trump had Laura Loomer with him on the plane, both before the debate, at the debate, and during the 9/11 ceremony. That, to me, is deeply revealing. Number one, that Donald Trump doesn't really listen to anyone. He does what he wants to do, which we kind of knew anyway. Number two, that Donald Trump is willing, whether he knows Laura Loomer says this stuff, like he knows specifically what it is or not, he knows she's really controversial. He knows she has said lots of things that have drawn condemnation. He knows she has been banned from Twitter. She, at one point, couldn't take Ubers or Lyfts because of her personality. And yet, he still not just allows this person to exist in his orbit, but brings her into his inner circle at some level. And what's the result? Well, two things. One, on a practical level, it means that he says dumb stuff like immigrants are eating people's pets in Ohio, which is totally false, easily debunked, has no relevance to swing and undecided voters in a debate setting with 67 million people watching. If you are a Republican strategist, you had to be like, I can't believe this is happening. But that's what happens when you put people like Laura Loomer close to you. So that's the practical sense. Then there's sort of the broader symbolic sense, which is, if Trump is sort of platforming and promoting people like Laura Loomer, it creates an umbrella of tolerance for people who have her views to come out of the woodwork and try to move those views into the mainstream. We saw this with Donald Trump talking about the Proud Boys when he said stand by and stand out and stand by, whatever the hell he said about the Proud Boys. Look, when you're asked about the Proud Boys supporting you, this is a extreme far-right nationalist organization. You say, I don't want their support, I don't agree with them, they are not people who identify in any way, shape, or form with what I believe about America and who we are and who we should be. Period. Easy. You don't say stand by and stand down or stand down and stand by. Over and over and over again, Donald Trump allows these people to exist in his orbit. In the case of Laura Loomer, to exist in his inner circle, at least at the moment. And that symbolically sends a message that this stuff is worth listening to, at a minimum, and okay or good at a maximum. And again, I don't know if he does it on purpose or not. I don't know if he is, trying to send signals to the white nationalists or Islamophobes out there that he's their candidate, or he just does it because he likes being around people who tell him how great he is. Could be a combination of both, could be one or the other. The point is, it doesn't really matter why he does it. You cannot have someone who has said and done the things that Laura Loomer has said and done anywhere near a major party presidential candidate. And yet, she was on the plane to the debate. Her idea on eating pets made it into the debate, and a person who said 9/11 was an inside job was at the president's side while he was commemorating the nearly 3,000 people who lost their lives in New York and Pennsylvania on Wednesday. It's unacceptable. You can't do it. And the fact that Donald Trump does it should give us all some pause. All right, that's it for today. As always, 4 things. Subscribe to my channel. That's easy. We are so close to 40,000 people. Make a special 40,000 video. I got to figure out what to do. 2, like this video. Easy. Just give it the thumbs up. 3, subscribe to this, comment on this channel. I'm screwing up my 4 things. And number 4, tell 10 friends. That's all I ask you. Tell 10 friends. Tell 5. Tell 100. Tell whoever you can. Remember, Fridays is the live stream. 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Me, live, taking your questions. Make sure you check it out. It's always super fun. If you miss it, don't worry. I record it and you can watch it later. All right, everybody. Take care.